Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome again to the second webinar, Microsoft Hoster Bootcamp. It's second part, and last time we looked at the context in the market, seeing actually the enormous growth in cloud and especially in hybrid cloud, what the challenges are from the customer perspective, and that the mindset is super important, how you look at your potential in the cloud and how you're dealing with your business in it. We also showed the tool set, the tools, and we also tapped into how to approach new customers and how to gain new customers. So actually we looked at the mindset, the skill set, and the tool set. And we're still, if it's with the tool set, actually said it's very important to create new offerings. So that was actually a briefly feedback on the last session. As I said, we're from 4Place, so we are an independent consultancy company supporting you, the distributors, and Microsoft in what's your view on the cloud in the market and what are the insights and how you can execute on it with a very pragmatical plan. And especially today, we're going to focus into a couple of things that's very useful for your organization, for your salespeople, and also how you execute on the plans and how to change your organization. So again, this program is an enablement program dedicated, developed for you, actually for the SPLA business. And we're using your experience, our experience, and Microsoft experience. And like I said last time, everything is based on data. So it's fact-driven. And like we said last time, it's not a technical webinar. It's really a business-oriented, customer-oriented, execution-oriented, marketing-oriented approach. It really helps you to develop your SPLA business. So what I said is 3 connected dots, 3 connected topics. So last time we looked at the opportunity. So today we're going to look at how you qualify the opportunity, and I'm going to give you new tools and scenarios how to implement it and how to use it on a daily basis. It's very pragmatical. If you're starting today, you get a copy of this presentation after the webinar, because there are templates and examples in there. And last time there was a question coming back from one of the attendees saying, yeah, it's very practical and I'm looking forward to have more examples. And I will give you examples today on the different scenarios, on the different plans. You can copy it, you can use it for your own, or you can fill it in on your own way so that it fits your organization. So again, to have the agenda for today we're going to look at the customer journey and your offer. And we're going to look at the 3-step model, so the GORE, the growth, and the transformation. And the band in action. And what band is, I'm going to explain you later on. And it's very useful to how to approach actually and how to qualify an opportunity, because today it's about qualification and about the journey of your offering. And next time I'm going to elaborate on that at the end of the presentation. So again, it's really about differentiating on how you going to differentiate from the competition. You as a partner, you as a reseller, you as a service provider, you as a supply partner, how are you going to differentiate in the cloud managed service world? That's where it's all about. So today, what is the business framework? Where to play and how to win? And I'm going to repeat that again and again, because that is the approach we use to make sure that you grow your business. So what is the business framework? And I'm going to repeat a little bit from last time, because this is the basics. These are the basics for the model we're going to introduce and how to approach your journey with your own company and a journey with your customer. So it's enabling the business growth. And what I said, it's where to play and how to win. So where to play and how to win. And what I said, it's core, growth, and transformational. And I repeat it because this is the core business. So existing offering and existing customers. This is the growth business. That's the next step in your journey. And the last time is transformational. So that's really how do you enable your transformation journey with your customers and with your own organization. So the vertical is about the tool set and how you enable your target new markets. So you have existing customers and you need tool sets to gain new customers, to win new customers, to find new customers. And how do you do that? The second one is the skill set. So you have existing offerings from your own organization with or without hybrid cloud, with or without your own data center or own solutions, with or without Microsoft Azure. So how are you going to develop and enable new offerings to the market, to gain new customers, to offer new services? And a very important one, what I explained, is the mindset to activate the transformation approach within your organization with your customer. So where to play, which area, what do you sell, so how to win, and the mindset is very important in that one. So how is the journey into the cloud, or actually the journey to the cloud? What I said, it's very interesting because we have partners with limited vision and very good skills. So they have a lot of services available, but they have, for example, nearly no management tools here. We see partners with a limited vision, but very good management tools, but no skill set. And we see partners with no vision, but it's good skills and good tools. But we think that it's very important to have three of them. So tool set, skill set, and the mindset. And the journey we're gonna have together, or actually what you're gonna have with your customer, is from core growth to transformational. So the core, and I'm gonna elaborate on that, because it's the core is really moved to the cloud. This quadrant or this diagram, you're gonna see again in how we're gonna approach and what are steps we're gonna take. So the core is moved to the cloud. The growth, to the dark blue, is actually operate in the cloud. And the transformational part is innovate in the cloud. And it already says how you're going to approach a journey with your customer. Because if you put in more skill set, you're going to stabilize your profitability, you're going to increase your profitability, or you're going to boost your profitability. And if you put in more tool set, you're going to maintain your revenue, increase your revenue, and boost your revenue. So it's addressing new markets, new customers, and developing new offerings. And the approach we use is actually customer value and TCO as a holistic approach. The customers want to have the best solution possible in the market. That is why they might consider to extend their business. Actually, also you should consider how you're going to extend your business with Azure to make it possible to have a more holistic approach towards your end user. And use the optimization tools that help you to serve your customers in the best way, the best possible way. So this approach also actually applies to the mindset, skill set, and tool set approach. That is why you can extend your value proposition with your own organization to Azure, with Azure. And how to learn to optimize the TCO and the value on Azure for your own organization, but also especially for your end user. Because at the end, they pay the bill. They look for a solution. They look for a holistic solution. So what's the customer value you bring? And what's the TCO you bring to your customer, but also to your own organization? As I said, it's not about a technical discussion today. But I want to show you some extension scenarios you can offer with Microsoft. And I'm not selling here Microsoft in particular, but it gives you an insight in what's available and especially what's the benefit for your customer. And just a couple of examples. So very easy. So let's move to the cloud. Backup in the cloud. There's Azure backup technology available. So that gives the customer scalability, data security, and ease of use. And as you can remember from the first webinar, what are one of the major challenges for your end user? That's security. So this is available, whether you have it on yourself or whether you want to use it from Azure. This is one of the opportunities. Business continuity. So there is a Azure site recovery services. So cost saving, automation is very important for a lot of customers. What you also saw, one of the challenges is that they don't have the competencies available in their organization, their skills. So the cloud extension with Azure VMware solutions give them the continuity and also the resource available to do this. And Azure on-premise. I mean, you can use it as the whole stack. So Azure by hosters actually. So, and you can use the migration service. So what you see here, there's a lot of opportunities where partners or where customers are looking for the major challenges they have is available from Azure. So the big question is, where are you going to focus on and how are you going to do it? Which service are you going to offer? Or what's the added value you bring to your end user? And for that, we have a ready to launch checklist. And it's maybe an open door, but I want to go through it. So the first question is it desirable? So the question is, do my customers need it? Where can I make a difference? So the best industry to use my assets. What's the problem you solve? What are my customers frustrating? What's their frustration? So what is actually the problem you're solving with your solution, with your services? And what's the job to be done? So what do they have to do? What is their organization looking for? And the early adapters, who's the most unhappy one at the moment? So is desirable? So does the customer need it? And this word need comes back in the approach we have. The second one, is it feasible? So my reach capabilities. Do I have the right capabilities? That's actually the question. Can I reach the right customer? And do I have a trust advisor name, or can the customer trust me? Do they listen to my story based on experience, based on skills, based on mindset? And do I have the right skills with the right people in-house, or do I need it from outside? And can I turn the unhappy customer into a happy customer? So the question here is, do I have the right capabilities? And of course, we are not for free here in the world. So the question is always, if I do something, if I offer a solution, if I approach a customer, if I hire new people, whatever, or invest in skills, is it profitable? So will the action, or will the solution, or will the customer increase my revenue, or will it delay my revenue? And what will the revenue change be? So, and the cost impact. I can have a very profitable solution, but maybe some huge marketing cost to approach a customer, or to do a sales compensation system, or have a utilization impact on people. And what's the impact on the bottom line? Is it recurring revenue? Is it cash flow? Is it OPEX? Is it CAPEX? So how will I make money? So with every change you make, with every decision based on customers or tool set or skill set or mindset, do my customer need it? Do I have the right capabilities? And how will I make money? If you answer those three questions, it's very important. So it's desirable, feasible, and profitable. Here is the question, where to play in the cloud? And what I said here, there are 9 subscription models available. And it's a little bit blurry. There's a reason for that, because I want to elaborate on that later. You recognize here the core, the growth, and the transformational. Or in other words, move to the cloud, operate in the cloud, and innovate in the cloud. Existing offerings, new offerings, existing customers, new customers. So this, it's not a quadrant because it's nine squares. It's a core growth and transformation area. So move to the cloud is actually scenario number 2. And our interesting part is the next step, and we have playbooks for that. I'm going to share it with you. Is you're gonna, for move to the cloud, you can choose to go to operate in the cloud. So the growth area. And the third area is innovation part or transformational part. So in industrial vertical solutions, power apps, data and insight, IoT and AI driven. So move to the cloud as a core, growth with SaaS integration, operating in the cloud, or peace of mind security area, and innovate or transformational in those more sophisticated solutions, and more transformational or innovative solutions. If you keep in mind those 9 blocks, those nine subscription models, because they're all available as services, I'm going to share with you a couple of journeys to give you examples how it can work for you, but also for your customers. And just take journey number 1. I need business continuity. That's the question of your customer. And you can remember that the first webinar, what are one of the major challenges? That's business continuity, for example. And every part and every customer has their own journey. It's also, what do you want to offer? So first, you do the first step here. You're not going to move immediately to innovate in the cloud. You do it step by step, from core to growth to transformational. So you start, for example, with move to the cloud. Then you move to operate in the cloud, and then you move to peace of mind, security, privacy, business continuity. So this is an example, and always 3 steps. Why 3 steps? Because it makes it easy. People understand it. And from research, it shows that 3 steps is always the best solution. If it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps, it's too much. People say, oh, that's too much information, or too difficult, or too complex, or too long, or too expensive, whatever. So what we say, take the 3-step approach. So this is the example of I need business continuity. Then journey number 2 example. I need to work remotely in security. I mean, to work remotely, especially the last 3 years, that has a huge momentum, a huge expansion. And of course, security became a hot topic in there. So in this area, you see the same 3 circles, but in a different order. So you move to the cloud as a service. Then you do the security area, and make sure that everything is private and the privacy is secured. And then you operate in the cloud. So you go from playbook 1 to playbook 4 to playbook 2. This one is number 3 example, journey number 3. I need to move my business online. So that's a more transformational, innovational, and it sounds easy because a lot of businesses are already online. But from a business perspective, from an end user, if they're not have an online business yet, or they don't have it online available, that is a step. So you move them to the cloud. So not make it an on-premise solution for them anymore. Operate in the cloud with them, and then move to playbook number 3, innovate in the cloud. So those are again 3 steps, but from the left corner to the right top corner in this case. So core, growth, and transformational, always those 3 steps. Move, operate, and innovate. Example number 4, and we especially share more journeys because it was a question, and we know it's very practical, and we share the 4 journeys that we see most of the time requesting from the customers. So customize and a personalized experience. Assuming the customer is already ahead on the curve, already in the cloud working and move to the cloud. So you start with operate their cloud business. Then you give them data and insight solutions, and then innovate in the cloud with a customized experience. So this more customized solutions, more innovative, And in this case, you can differentiate from your competitor and the other partners, and also the customer can differentiate from their competition. So this is a more sophisticated, more innovative approach. So look at your customer base. Where are they in the cycle? What are their needs? And how you gonna qualify them? I'm gonna explain in a certain methodology we have developed. You will get the question from the customer, is the public cloud cheaper? Despite the security discussion we had before. You can save up to 80% with reserve instance solution and Azure hybrid benefits. He said 80%. And this is a study that's been done by Gartner. And the RI solutions, the reserve instance solution from Microsoft, is a virtual machine on the Microsoft Azure cloud, public cloud, that has been reserved for dedicated use on 1 or 3 years basis. And that's the reason why it's cheaper. So if you compare it with pay-as-you-go or with this cost saving, if you use reserve instance, including Azure hybrid cloud benefits, you will see that you save up to 80%. That's on the long term. They will say, yeah, but in the beginning there are some migration costs and more expensive. That's true. That is the first stage. But then right sizing for the public, you can see that it's expensive in the beginning, but at the end it will be cheaper. And if it's 70% or 80% or 60% or 50%, don't go into that detailed discussion. Gartner studies show that the public is not expensive in the long term, especially because you can offer innovative solutions like we discussed before, services. You can grow with them with other solutions they cannot do themselves or you cannot do themselves. So at the end, for the end user, it's more interesting to move to the cloud and have a hybrid solution. That was from an end user point of view. What's the advantage for you? I'm going to explain that again, or I'm going to explain it later on in the presentation. Actually, the objective is your customer success journey. Start with taking the first 3 right steps. And that's the reason why I showed you the core growth transformational and the 3-step solution on the journeys. So for example, go to Azure, you do security, and then you operate. And I always compare it with a family that wants to climb a mountain. The mindset is, oh, we have a family. We are risk-taking. Or it can be, this is an interesting challenge. We do it as a family. That's great because we are a team. So it's a different mindset. And the skill set is, are we trained? Can we really climb the mountain? Do we have the right equipment? Do we have the backpacks? Do we have the poles? Do we have the right shoes? And are we trained? Are we trained for it as a skill? Are we able to navigate? That's the skill set part. And the tool set is the poles and the backpack and the shoes, for example. So the mindset is, can we do it? And we're risk avoiding, but we're not going to do it as a family, as a team. The skill is, are we trained? And the tools, do we have the right equipment? So that's exactly the same if you move to the cloud. You actually climb a mountain, you go into the cloud. So you need all those 3 areas to be filled in and to be developed. And here are the examples I promise you. These are the battle cards, and that's the reason why we share this presentation for you, because this is not something you can immediately remember when I explain it. So here's the battle card for move to the cloud. So actually the first step you do with your customer. Examples are ICE or PaaS solution, the lift and shift, or assessment and migration services. And for each battle card, we have 6 topics. What's the market opportunity? In this case, it's 530 billion. We explained the first session. What are the client needs? agility, service quality, overall cost and transparency, and implementation new scenarios. They're not available. What are the skills that needed from your perspective or from the customer perspective? Certified Azure expert with data center and system integration background. Not all customers do have it. Do you have it? A proactive marketing and sales approach. And ability to communicate in the right way with your customer on the benefits. And what are the customer types and how do you get them? In this case, all companies and public sector entities. And this is almost the whole market. And you can cross-sell and upsell to the whole customer base you already have. You have customer referrals, and you can do co-marketing with Microsoft in this. And you can do hosting meetups and webinars. And what are you going to offer? And that's just an example. Offer the cloud migration service or modernization services, hybrid cloud networking, automation DevOps. So just an example. So what are you able to offer from your own company together with Microsoft to your end user? And in this case, what are the connected quadrants? So connected quadrants, I mean, this is the first step. So the peace of mind is a connected one. So it can be the next one. Operate in the cloud, number 2, can be the second one. Or number 5, AI driven and data insight. So you can do this way or this way. So look at the connected quadrants and you have the total battle card complete. So this moves to the cloud. But the question is, why should we care? And just to elaborate on that briefly again, is 90% of the companies are on the cloud today. IaaS, I explained, is the fastest growing cloud spending service in the last 5 years. And by IDC, it was, the Insight gave it $530 billion of services. It already doubled. And here, what's the advantage for you? Why should you care? This is the margin on a resale model most of you have today. If you do professional services, actually the first step, you can increase your margin to 40-50%. And if you even move to managed services, you can go to 50-60% margin. So this is very interesting. So why should you care? Because this is the business of the future. There's a huge potential, huge growth, and there's also added value on a margin perspective for your organization. To give you a little bit more data, the top reasons for choosing hybrid cloud. 69% have hybrid cloud strategy of the customers. 84% have a multi-cloud strategy. And 75% of the data will be generated outside their own organization, outside their own data centers. And the top reasons are remote locations, regulations, speed up time, modernize outdated systems, agility. So why should you care? I think this is the reason why you should care. And I'm not going to go into the technical part, but innovation is anywhere with Azure. You have the Azure solutions for multi-cloud, for on-premise solutions, for edge solutions. So the only thing I can say is look at the possibilities and the services offered by Microsoft with Azure. Make it complementary with your own solutions and look at what the customer is wanting. So that was moved to the cloud. Now operate in the cloud, the second battle card. Here you see again what's the market opportunity. And the operate in the cloud, we're talking about remote working deployment, Teams, security, file share, support. For a lot of organizations, just daily business, but everybody is looking for it. So the market opportunity, just an example, for public cloud is 141 billion. and the spending is enormous. So what do they need? Cloud technologies, they need a platform, they need a business continuity, collaboration with desktop, remote desktop, increase remote communication with teams. So the things we use on a daily basis, and maybe for us very normal, are for still a lot of companies a challenge. So what do you need? Consultative selling, because it's not a technical solution, it's a business solution. Proactive marketing, proactive selling, and what other customer needs. Each customer has their own need and is in their own journey. You need certified people, professionals, and communicate the benefits and manage the automating Azure solutions. What the kind of customers are looking for it? All kind of normal companies and public sector entities. So they have events, they have webinars, they have LinkedIn, they have, I mean, you can look at them. Almost every company needs this. So those two steps, to move to the cloud and operate in the cloud, are very open doors maybe, and the opportunity is still huge. These are the services you can offer with Azure, for example, and again here the connected quadrants. So if you went to this one, the next one is or this, although I say this should be the first one, but you can go to peace of mind, the security area. You can go to data and insights, because more and more the solutions and more decisions are data driven in companies. Or you can move to innovate in the cloud, like online solutions or even customer specific solutions. So why should we care for operating in the cloud? Because application will shift toward hybrid architecture. 80% of the new applications are developed on cloud platforms. So if you're not in there, you're out. And 95% of new microservices are deployed in containers. So what you see is that the whole development, the whole strategy of development of software companies is based on cloud solutions. So if you're not in there, you are no longer able to give the solution and the opportunity, the solution and added value to your end customers. Then battle card number 4, and I'll call it 4 because it's product number 4. That's the peace of mind. Security service, number 1 challenges for customers, and disaster recovery backup, because we know that if you don't have a recovery service, you have the ability to be out of services. So the market opportunities here, again, huge, $134 billion. And what do the customer need? Guard against threats, protection, identify breaches and threats, and manage automated responses, because not everybody is awake for 24 hours a day. Protect their data, protect their apps, secure mobile device management, because everything is mobile these days. And what do you need for that? You need technical skills, security background, GDPR knowledge, consultative selling, again, a proactive marketing. So you see that the skill and tool set is increasing and increasing here. But it gives also a lot of opportunity, because not everybody's doing that. Not everybody's investing in that. Type of customer, again, everybody. And how do you get them? Customer referrals, co-marketing with Microsoft, meetups, webinar events. A lot of customers still visiting those. And the type of service you can offer are a lot from Azure, a lot from what you have to offer yourself, but look for a combination. And again, there's a steps to the next quadrants, to connected quadrants, IoT, operate in the cloud, move in the cloud. But what I say is start here, move here, and then look to the connected areas where you can offer and upsell additional services. But why should you care for peace of mind? Why should we care about that? GDPR, so security and data security. GDPR is in place since 25th of May 2018, so it's more than 5 years ago. So you must be compliant with it as an end user. And here comes the interesting part. 279 days is average time to identify and contain a breach in an organization, in the software, in the application, in the data. So that's too long. And we also know from research that if there's no backup services, no security in place, that people who get hacked or lose their data, they are bankrupt within 3 months because they have no clue who they invoiced and who should pay the bills. But they get their invoices from their suppliers. So that's the reason why we should care about that. And the security business is growing enormous the last couple of years, but also the next couple of years. We put this in there because it's from Microsoft. This gives you an interesting overview of the safeguard of the small medium business customers against external threats and leaks. And as the small medium business customers is a huge number in each country, there's a huge potential. And I think that's especially if that's your target market and you can offer these solutions. Look at this. What are the challenges? Lack of time, budget, and personnel for security in those small, medium business customers. So they're looking for help. They're looking for a partner to help them to make sure that they have this in place. And here are the type of customers. So I'm going to share it with you. Have a look at it, look through it, have a look at the website of Microsoft. And this will help you to identify the right customers and approach them in the right way. And this then solution. I'm going to not go into the detail to the solution what I said, but this is the solutions Microsoft can offer together with you. So use this because there is so much available, and I know that there are more of 200 solutions and services available from Microsoft Azure. So the only thing I can say is get familiar with the Azure website. Maybe not yourself from a business perspective, but especially the sales guys and the technical guys. Make sure that you know what's available and discuss together what is the solution and what are the services you're going to offer as a partner. So we have touched this tool set, skill set, mindset, core, growth, transformational, existing offerings, new offerings, existing customers, new customers. It starts really with this one. And then you say, okay, interesting, Edwin. Yes, I understand this. I see the playbooks. I see the battle cards. How do I start? And for that, we developed a partner transformation action plan. So where to play and how to win from your perspective. What is it? What transformation do you want to enable? You get this template and you see that 2 to 5% of the current business is transformational. 12 to 20% is the current business of the growth, and 70% of your current business is core. So what they always say is this also the time you spend on those businesses. So 70% of your time on this one, 20% on this, and 10% on this on average, to make sure that you have also the future business available and transformational business. So for each area, you put in the objective and the result you want to accomplish. So what are the success factors and what are the 3 actions? Again, you see, 3, because 3 is manageable. It's reasonable, it's feasible, it's profitable. So again, you see those 3 topics coming back. That's interesting? So we made an example, just an example, but out of that example, you can take what you want. So we filled in an action plan. For example, objective on existing customers, get started with Azure. Key result, 10 new accounts, MRR 303 months, 5 new Azure storage and backup customers. What are the success factors? We need a target list, hold an event, communicate, and motivate the staff. So what are the actions? Here are 4 actions, by the way. Hold an event, build an offer with your distributor, certify 2 engineers so that you have the skills in the house, and create a bonus for sales. On the growth, develop security business, for example, because you don't have it yet. Grow 10 modern work accounts with Azure. Identify readiness of the staff, run the campaign, do the security workshop, and get my staff certified. So this is very practical. It's not too much. Everybody can understand, and it's one piece of paper, one A4. And for the future business, offer manager provide a business transformational service, for example. Engage 3 new accounts. Why not 10? Because this is more complicated. This needs more skills, more tools. First, build awareness with clients. Have an offering and have success stories, because transformation is very often on referral sales, based on experience, based on references. So run the event and have a reference story and get your people motivated. So I'm going to share this template with you. Take the empty template, fill it in for your organization, and of course, copy ideas from this template, what we have as an example. And then how we qualify the opportunities. We use the band model. And here you see again the need. That's where I said before. The need comes back in the approach. So the budget, authority, need, and times, the band, so that and it create the ideal opportunity to go after. The first is the why. So the need, is there a need with the customer? And then you qualify the how and the when with the budget, the authority, and the time. But first is why is there a need? So the why, is there a problem? Do we need to solve a challenge, for example? Is there a compelling event? So something did already happen. There was a security breach or shutdown or outage. And maybe there's a wish or aspiration. Maybe we want to work remotely secure, or we want to generate data outside. So the why. So you can ask questions like, what is the urgency? What will happen if you don't do it? What are things you've currently done? You've currently or have things currently done, and are other solutions being considered? So you know whether they do it themselves, whether it's competition or other partners. So the big question is why. Then the how and the when. So is there a priority? So what is the outcome they need and how quick they need it? Over what period of time? And who is going to pay? So the question is there budget? So can they afford it? So the question you can ask is there budget available? Which budget would be funding this? Is it out of the business, out of IT, out of marketing, whatever? Is there a limit? And is there a clear connection between the financial investments and the business outcome? Because that makes it easier to sell and to convince the customer and to have the project running. So that's the budget part. Then the authority. So you see the need, the budget, and the authority. So are we speaking with the decision makers? It's about people, process, and tools. And what will be their decision process? So again, is the budget available? Who has the budget? So who's had the authority? Who's the decision maker and who's the decision committee? And I know we very often talk to purchasing. And yes, they have a say in the whole decision, but very often they are not the decision maker. And what are the administration steps take to require the investment? Do they need approval from the board? Do they need approval from investors? Do they need approval from management? And is there a gatekeeper? Is it secretary? Is it purchasing? Whatever. So who is the authority? Very important. So BAND is for budget, authority, and for needs we discussed. And the last one is a time. Is there a deadline? Is there urgency? And is there a journey? So when is the investment decision taken? And is there a compelling event? A compelling event means, does it really hurt if you don't do it? Is there a reason why you do it? And is it budget tied to a certain period in the quarter, in the financial year? So is it part of marketing budget, part of investment budget? Or do they have to spend it or just give the order in a certain period? So the timing is very important. And the question is, must it be deployed in one big bang or in phases because of the budget, of the timing or the resource available? So here again, the timing is very important. So the band approach to qualified opportunity is the N is for need. That's the first why. If there's no why, there's no actually need to go after it from your sales perspective. So the N for need. Then is there budget, authority, and timing. And we know from experience, this is very simple. Four letters you have to address to qualify, to go after, and ask the wise questions. Because the more you know, the more easier it is to approach the opportunity, to have the right customer, to have to offer the right solution, to know whether it's possible to close the deal. And you're gonna, at the end, you're gonna help your customer with the right value, with the right services, with the right solution. And yes, price is an issue, but if you don't know whether there's a budget, you have no clue. So with this approach, the band approach is to create the ideal opportunity. And if things are answered in a negative way, I say go to another opportunity or out-qualify it, because don't spend too much time on an opportunity that has not been qualified in the right way. So based on this, you can actually make a checklist. And that just comes to my mind now. We didn't develop a checklist on this, but you can easily make a checklist from all those 4 slides and all those questions. And if it's positive, you go after it. If it's not, you have to figure it out if you don't know it yet. And if it's all negative, stop and go and spend your time on another opportunity. Again, we do this because we see the world is changing. It's about value creation. It's about added value, about qualification, about offering new services and offering hybrid solutions. And the margin is increasing the more and higher up in the chain. The profitability goes up. Opportunity for recurring revenue is increasing. So the more value you bring your customer, the more service you can offer, the more value you bring your organization, and the more recurring revenue and a higher profitability. And again, here the link to the 40 key critical value creation metrics from McKinsey. So one step back, last week we discussed where to play, the benchmark score, and the mindset, skill set, tool set approach, success factors. Today we discussed the journey and what you can offer with the 6-9 model services model. And the 3 steps, core growth transformation model, always 3 steps. And at last, the band in action. To qualify the right opportunity, to go after the right customer, to go after the right deals, including the templates for your transformation, including the battle cards for your solutions. So, call to action after today, and it's almost a week from now, because next Wednesday we already have the last one, number 3, where we go into the 5 steps for a successful campaign, because you saw that marketing and approaching the market is very important. Operational considerations, how to implement this and how to start. So we're going to give you tools how to succeed with the whole model. So call to action for today, follow webinar number 3 next Wednesday. Fill in the template at the transformational action plan for the partner, the empty template plus the example we gave you. And use the band approach for qualifying the opportunity with your customers. And if you've not done it yet, fill in the cloud readiness assessment, where it was from webinar number 1, where you can benchmark your own organization to the almost 1,000 partners in Europe. How you benchmark on all topics, whether you're ahead of them or not, and what's the benchmark for being very successful partners in new areas. Okay, are there any questions? And I see 2 questions already. They gave to me. Do we get the slides? Yes, especially as the journey examples are very interesting, and the partner transformation template and the band approach to qualify the right opportunities. I'm going to share the whole presentation. The next question was, are a lot of partners doing this? We have given this presentation webinar to many partners already the last 3 years. And being honest, as we think that everybody is already in a transformational state and work on it is very often resell as usual. So we see that partners are struggling with the approach and how to do it. That's the reason why we developed this webinar and share all the info based on data and on our experience to help you to make the transformation actually and the next step to create more value for your customers and for your actually own company. So are there any questions? And let me check whether yes. Okay, chats. Are there any questions? Let me check. Quarters. Okay, if there are no more questions, I can only urge you, thank you very much for making the time available today. Please be there next week, because we give you tools to succeed with this journey for your own company, because you have to be ready for the next step and the opportunity to grab the opportunity in the market and approach the right customers. So if there are no more questions anymore, thank you, everybody. Thank you for spending your time with us. And I'll see you next week. Thank you.